Postseason baseball is here, and Nick and I could not be more excited. Let's get into some predictions. So without further ado, let's break it all down. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside Nick Gosse. Now, before we get into the fun stuff, we want to remind you that we are on the road to 1K subscribers. We know that we're going to hit it in the summer. We're going to hit it in the off season. Sorry, not the summer. The summer's past.
Yep.
We're into October, and I cannot be more excited. Not just for the Jays playoff run that I'll be attending. Not to rub it in your face, Nick, but I just got to let the people know I haven't been this excited for something probably ever in my life. So, baseball, October baseball, nothing beats it.
It's it's what we all every year when we watch however many games, 150, however many you can watch, the hours you spend watching it on TV. This is what it's for. And 2015, I enjoyed it. Obviously, it was great, best sports moment of my life probably, but I didn't really get to enjoy it because I was younger and stuff. So now we both get to fully enjoy it, and we're changing it up a little bit though. We're going full MLB, giving our predictions. As of this video, we are hours away from first pitch. So for us, it's the night before, but we're hours away from first pitch when this releases. So happy game day to everyone. But it's crazy to say that, isn't it?
Man, I love it. I love it. There's nothing I love more than playoff baseball.
Nothing better.
And it's just great, man. It's great. Every game is exciting. It just brings out the best in players. Like, you see players break out that maybe you don't have the time to watch all season long just because you're so hung up on that one team. And the baseball season, it's a grind, Nick.
Yeah.
I've done it my whole life. I've played, and I've played 60 games in a summer, and that feels long. I can't imagine these guys playing 162 and dedicating their whole lives to this sport leading up to this moment. It's just great.
Yeah, I think that's what separates baseball from playoff baseball, it is, from other sports, is that hours and hours for the fans. Even obviously the players, crazy, it's probably one of the hardest things to do, but as fans, you spend hours watching the games. If you watch every game, or we almost watch every game, it's just hours and hours, and then it all comes down to 3 days. It is wild to me. It's kind of like football in that sense, and you don't have games that often. It's like the opposite effect, but it makes it super intense, and everything comes down to, for every team, not just the Blue Jays, everything comes down to really the next month. So it's crazy to think about. Hearts will be broken, I'm sure. Hopefully not ours, but.
Well, you hear it all the time. Baseball fans, they say, "Oh, it's game 36 on the season. It doesn't really matter." And then when you look at the standings on the final regular season day in the MLB, a team gets in by one game, or they're a game ahead of the team behind them. So every game matters. Every game is leading up to this moment. And for these players to play 162 and find it in them to compete in the playoffs, hats off to them.
Yeah, us last year missed out by one game. The Marcus Semien throw halfway through the year, whenever that was, came back to bite us. And again, we've only been breaking it down for a month and a bit. We'll be full season next season, so that'll be even crazier. But man, it's game day for all you viewers. So for us, again, it's the night before. But let's just start with the breakdown. We could talk about how hyped we are for hours, but I'm gonna I'll put up the graphic here. So this is the postseason picture. We're gonna start with the Rays against the Guardians, and we'll go through. We'll start with the AL, go with the NL into the World Series, and we're gonna look back at this. Maybe we do a video on it, but look back and see how close our prediction was. That could be a cool thing to do. But we'll start with you, Peter. What is your prediction for the Rays Guardians series?
Now I'm gonna go off the board here. I'm taking the Guardians in 3. And a lot of people are picking the Rays, but I'll tell you why I'm going with the Guardians. They're very similar teams in the sense that they play small ball. They sacrifice for the team. They're a bunch of moving parts that just work together. But I think the Guardians are a little bit better at playing small ball than the Rays are, and that's why I give them the edge. It's going to be a tight series. Every game's probably going to end 2-1 or 1-0, but I think the Guardians got the edge, and they'll move on to the ALDS. How about you?
Yeah, I got the Rays in 3. Did you say Guardians in 3?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I got the Rays in 3. To be honest with you, for the viewers as well, we haven't talked about our predictions with one another off camera, so we're both kind of just going into it here now. Yeah, no, Rays in 3. I think, like you said, I can make the same points. Basically, it's going to be close. It's a coin flip. This one's a complete coin flip for me. I could see a world where the Guardians get hot and win in 2. That's like just the nature of the wild card. I just think the Rays will pull it out. I think when they get runners on base, they score. I think they play the right way. And Kevin Cash is an elite manager. I think they squeeze it out in 3.
And another thing about that series, they're in Cleveland, so that
Yeah.
the Rays are not a very good road team, which is another thing to buy into. But you know what? This is a Jays channel. We don't want to talk about the Rays because we don't have to play them, thankfully. So let's move on to
knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet. One series at a time, Nick. And on that one series at a time, let's move on to the Jays and the Mariners. What's your prediction for that one?
For the Jays series against the Mariners, I got the Jays in 2. We discussed this in the last video. Check it out if you want to know a more detailed explanation. We'll quickly run through it. But yeah, I got Jays in 2. Who do you got?
Jays in 3, but I hope you're right. I hope it is Jays in 2 for reasons that I've said many times and in previous videos. I'm going to the first 2 games,
Yep.
and I want to see them wrap it up at home, but I don't want to let my bias get in the way. So I'm going to say Jays in 3, hoping for some good karma there.
Yeah, Jays in 3 is probably, that's a fair bet if I was a betting man. But again, if you want to see a more detailed, we went through a whole video basically going through it. Check out yesterday's video. Moving on to the NL, we'll have Phillies and Cardinals. I think this one's pretty set in stone. I got Cardinals in 2. I think they're a better team. They have a bunch of veterans that I would love to see go far. I don't think they have the pitching to do it, like you said in the in previous videos. But who do you got?
I also got the Cards in 2. I want to see Albert Pujols hit a home run.
Yep.
And send them into the NLDS. That would be the ideal situation for me. Look, I think they're still a couple years away from competing. They got a couple of great young prospects. Nolan Gorman, Tommy Edman is great on that team. And they got a couple of studs too in Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. I just hope they can make a deep run, but I don't see it this year, but I still think they get past the Phillies pretty easily.
I agree. Completely agree with everything you said. Miles Mikolas is a stud. I love him. Similar name to me, so that's a bit biased there. But yeah, no, I think they're a cool team. I don't think they have it this year. I think the NL is just too stacked. But we agree. Sweep for the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. Going into the primetime series, this is the big one. Padres Mets. Who do you have in that series? Because I'm very curious to know.
This is tough, and a lot of people are thinking this is going to be Mets in 2. I'm going to go Mets in 3, and I'll tell you why. I just think the Padres have they have an explosive offense, and maybe they didn't show it at times this season, but I think they'll be able to get a game. And I saw something floating around Twitter that the Mets might be saving Jacob deGrom for the NLDS, and if they do that, they're probably giving a game away. Although I don't think they will do it.
I agree again with it. We're on the same page here, but yeah, no, I don't think they do that. I think that's just smoke. My prediction I've written over here, Mets in 3 as well. So I guess we were agreeing there. I don't even need everything you said is right on the money. I could see a world where the Padres win this series. I have too much faith in the Mets, especially for this series. So 100-win team. So Mets in 3. We agree on back-to-back series. Kind of crazy considering we didn't do this beforehand, but it is what it is.
Mets.
Go ahead.
Mets have been known though to
choke,
to not be good under the pressure. So who knows?
My brother's a Mets fan, so I hope the Mets get swept. So let's move into the ALCS. I guess ALDS. Yeah. I guess it depends. We have different ALDSs. So I guess for you, we'll go Yankees and Guardians. Who do you got?
Yeah, I have the Yankees in 5 in this series. And remember, these are 5-game series.
Yep.
They're best of 5. So you got to win 3 games. So I have the Yankees in 5. I don't think people are giving the Guardians enough credit. They're such a scrappy team. They do things the right way. Terry Francona is such an underrated manager.
Agreed.
Their bullpen is unbelievably good. And they have a legitimate superstar in Jose Ramirez. But the Yankees have the best superstar in the playoffs right now, and that's Aaron Judge. And I think it's his year. I think the Yankees move on to the ALCS. but not without a bit of trouble from the Guardians.
So yeah, I agree with what you say, and it almost makes, I mean, my prediction, it makes your prediction make a bit more sense. I have the Yankees in 4. I think that I think they're, I mean, they're just a better team, and I think the Rays pull off 1, but I think they steamroll the Rays. I think the Yankees are just better. I think that like I said before, I think the Rays end up beating the Guardians, close. But I think your prediction, I think if the Guardians get there, I think the Guardians have a better chance of beating the Yankees than the Rays do. But Yankees in 4. So we have an agreement for one of the ALCS teams. I guess moving on now, Astros, Blue Jays. Who do you have? Please let me know.
Now, if you're a Blue Jays fan, you might be a little disappointed later on in this video. I don't want to spoil anything. You might be, but I have the Blue Jays in 5 games against the Houston Astros. I think they can do it, and I'll tell you why. Bradley Zimmer hit a home run off Justin Verlander this season.
Right.
Now, take that as you may, but I think that's a sign of greater things to come for Toronto.
So that's a great take there. So this one was a struggle for me. I didn't, because Astros are phenomenal, and we're a Jays channel, so I was like, I can't let my homer, get in the way fully. But yes, I can, and I'm gonna go with Blue Jays in 7. I think that, yeah, if Bradley Zimmer plays 5, I'm gonna go Blue Jays in 7. I could see a world where the Jays, honestly, I'm just gonna put it on record, I can see a world where the Jays lose this in 6. But I'm going to go Jays in 7 and setting up the ALCS of the Yankees and Jays. But before we do get into that, I love your take on the Astros series. We'll just brush by that, and we'll go with the Braves and Cardinals. So we do have the same NLDS, so Braves, Cardinals.
And one thing to give Blue Jays fans a little bit more hope for the Astros series, I saw this stat on Twitter. Again, take it with a grain of salt. But the Astros played 74 games out of 162 against teams over 500 in the regular season. The Blue Jays, on the other hand, 118 games against teams over 500.
Yeah.
So
it'll be a toss-up.
That's a huge discrepancy. The Astros had a much easier schedule, much more favorable schedule, and the Jays played them tough. Now, that you said Jays in 7. It's not possible because it's best of 5.
Jays in 5. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Blunder by Nick. But that's what I'm here for. I keep him level-headed. He's a superstar. Right. I gotta keep him on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know why I said 7. All these predictions, but yeah, if it was the ALCS, Jays in 7. But yeah, we'll go Jays in 5. Good catch. I'm sure people have already commented about it. Jays in 5. This series should go either way. But, yeah, thank you for that catch. We have Bradley Zimmer. Shout out Bradley Zimmer. But, man, moving on. Yeah, okay. Braves and Cardinals. Who do you got?
I got the Braves in 4. I think their rotation is just too good. They win 3 games to 1 in the NLDS, and I think they move on to the NLCS, and their rotation just too much to handle for the Cardinals, and they have a pretty underrated lineup too. I like what they got going on there.
Yeah, I have written down Braves in 4. I don't even need to. Everything you said is what I was going to say. There's no need to say the same thing. Yeah, Braves in 4, and easily. I think it's going to be a fairly easy series. Let's just move right on. Mets, Dodgers. This might be the controversial one. I'm curious to see what you have. What do you got?
I have the Dodgers in 5. Now, I think both rotations match up really well. They're gonna give each other a run for their money, but the Dodgers have the better lineup, and they've been there before. I think they have the edge.
Yeah, I also have Dodgers in 5. I guess we were just meant to be co-hosts because it's just we have the same things. Yeah, Dodgers in 5. Everything you said. They're just the better team. I think they're going to show they have more experience in the playoffs as well. Obviously, the Braves won the World Series. I think just as a whole, I think the Dodgers take them out. Let's move on now. ALCS. Obviously, this picture I have up doesn't show fully things, but Blue Jays, Yankees, I'll start. Blue Jays, Yankees. Astros. I don't know why I said Astros. The Blue Jays in 7.
Okay. Okay. The fans are gonna love you for that one, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm gonna go Yankees in 6, and it pains me to say it, but I just think this is Aaron Judge's year, and the Blue Jays pull off an upset in the ALDS. They're running on a high going into the ALCS, and then they take their foot off the gas against the New York Yankees.
2015.
That's what I think is going to happen.
2015 all over again. To be honest with you, I didn't know. I had a feeling you were going to go with the Yankees. I wanted to, change it up a little bit. I didn't want to have the same prediction. Realistically, if I was a betting man, I would agree with you. Maybe Yankees in 7, but it's a Jays channel. We're gonna have people come in here expecting some.
Of course.
At least one of us has to do the Jays World Series prediction. So I'll go, Jays in 7. Yankee. If it actually gets to this point, it would be a crazy, crazy series, and we'll be there if they make it. So I guess we'll have a different World Series, but I kind of agree with you. So I'm just gonna.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough to say because it's our job to sort of reassure the Blue Jay fans out there and give them some hope. And look, if you make it to the ALCS
successful year
and lose to an Aaron Judge-led team in a record-breaking season in the type of year that he's had, I don't think that's a failure.
No,
I don't.
We had this conversation in maybe it's a few weeks ago. We had what would be considered a success versus a failure, and I said ALCS at the time. I think you were more on edge, but I think you've come along now. Obviously, Judge is having a historic year. ALCS, I'm happy. I think we make the World Series, but let's move on to the NL because we'll have a bit more time to talk about that. Who do you have? Dodgers versus whoever we picked. So who do you got?
Braves.
Yeah, Braves.
Dodgers,
I didn't know.
Braves.
Dodgers, Braves.
I'm gonna take Dodgers in 6 here.
Okay, different prediction.
Dodgers in 6. They've been there before. I know the Braves won the World Series last year, but they don't have Freddie Freeman anymore.
Matt Olson.
They don't, and Freddie Freeman is on the other side, on the Dodgers side, and I think he's gonna break the hearts of the Atlanta fans for passing him by and not bringing him back. So I say a Dodgers-Yankees World Series.
I have Dodgers in 7. Same reason you do. I think they just have a bit more talent, and I think it's the. I think the Dodgers go back to the World Series. Setting up a different World Series for me. I guess we'll have a different take then. I guess I'll start. So we have Dodgers, Blue Jays. I know. I got Blue Jays Dodgers in 6. I got Dodgers. I debated everyone. I got Dodgers in 6 in the World Series. I think we fight. I think we win a Manoah start. I think we win a Ross Stripling start, and I think we lose the other 4. I don't know. I mean, this is at this point of the prediction, they're all it's so many things have to happen to get here, but Dodgers in 6. Who do you got for Dodgers and Yankees?
I would be gutted if the Blue Jays lose in 6 in the World Series. You're so close.
I know.
You're right there, and you just can't get it done. So that would be great to see, though. It would be great to see the Jays make it that far.
Rogers Center
and be able
World
to
Series.
Reflect on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great to reflect on it later on, because at the beginning of the year, it's tough to picture the Jays there, despite being such big favorites. There's a lot of question marks around the team, and it's like, if they can get there and silence all the doubters that they had the entire year, that would be great.
I would be
thrilled.
I'd go as far as saying it's hard to picture that right now going to the World Series, but I don't know. Again, one of us, you clicked on this video, one of us you knew was going to pick the Blue Jays to make it to the World Series at least. I won't go as far as saying they're winning. I think they're a couple pieces away still, but I think that, again, they're capable of winning it. It's just whether they get there. Who do you got? Yankees, Dodgers.
I have Yankees in 7.
You think it's Yankees year?
I have Yankees in 7. They're due, and this is the ideal matchup for Major League Baseball.
I agree.
Let's call it what it is. If you have an Aaron Judge against the Dodgers, Judge versus Betts, in the World Series, who doesn't want that? I mean, if the Jays don't make the World Series, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And I think the
Crazy.
Yankees are destined this season, and Aaron Judge has carried that team, and I don't expect it to stop in the playoffs. They're going all the way, and it pains me to say it, but they are going all the way.
Yeah. I like that prediction. I think if it gets there, I guess I'll throw my take. I'll ask you the same question as well. If it goes to Yankees and Dodgers, I think I got the Dodgers in 7. Who do you have if it goes Blue Jays Dodgers like I predicted?
Well, since I didn't predict this, I'll say Blue Jays in 7.
There we go.
I'll give you guys some hope. If the Jays make it to the World Series, that means they're destined and nothing's going to stop them. It's their year. So if they make the World Series, if they find a way to get through all those tough teams, they're going to win it all, boys.
Love that. Yeah, I guess that wraps up the prediction. It was a long one. It was a blunder by me. Game 7 just makes the it's been a long season.
You blew it.
I'll just quickly shout out to you, Peter. It's been a long. Obviously, we're only doing this for a month, but this will be our last video of the regular season. So
Yeah.
before the playoffs get underway. So man, it's I can't be more excited. I'm super pumped. I don't know. It feels like Christmas Eve to me right now. Obviously, the day before the playoffs. I'm just ready to go. And I'd say we do a video reviewing this at the end of the playoffs, reviewing this, and I'll do up a graphic with all of our predictions, and we'll see who was closer. And the person who's closer, I don't know, buys a beer at the ALCS or something. Even though that'll be past, but whatever.
I would love that. I would love nothing more. And it's been great, Nick.
Yep.
Meeting you and getting this thing going. It's been great. It's been a ton of fun, and it's nothing I love more than the Blue Jays. Nothing I love more than talking about the Blue Jays, and
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing it with a better dude. So
Yes.
let's gear up for this playoff ride, baby.
Let's do it, and hopefully a month from now, or a bit less than a month from now, we'll have a crazy video about the World Series. But either way, I guess wrap it up, Peter. You always wrap it up. May as well wrap it up.
Thanks for making it this far, guys. We really appreciate it, and we're just as excited as you, and we're just as nervous as you. So don't feel any more pressure. We're along for the ride with all of you guys. So buckle up.